This is a simple operator which everybody of us know this. It is used to assign a value to a variable. That is called assignment operator. It's something like this. It just simply assigns a value to a variable. So that's it. And the syntax looks like this. And most of us know this. We are very much connected to this. It's a simple thing. Data type space var name equal to value. And this here equal, single equal is called assignment. Because sometimes equal means double equal, that is used for comparison. And this equal is used for assignment. And technically we should call this assignment operator more than calling equal. We call this as assigns value. So for example, I say that int a equal to 10. Here, the value a, 10, is initialized to a using this assignment operator equal. And this is what assignment operator is. I hope this is clear to all of you. That's it. So assignment operator assigns a value to a variable. That's all. This is simple. There is nothing much to talk about this. Let me switch on to the next topic, that is unary operators. What is that? Unary operator. Let's get to the, now let's start the new topic, unary operators. What is an unary operator? It's simple. Unary means single, only one. And here unary means number of operands, not operators. An operator applied on a single operand. What is that? Single operand is called, what do you call this, dear friends? Unary operator. Maybe you can ask me a question, what is operand? So operand is nothing but an expression, or it can be a variable. So sometimes students keep asking me what is operand. Operand can be an expression like something like this, a plus b, something like this. Or it can be a variable. Variable means something like a, b, c, something like this. Independent. Suppose a can be an operand, or this whole expression can be operand. That's what we call operand is. It can be expression, or it can be independent variable. That's an operand is. Is this clear? So that's the idea about operand. Now next one. Unary operator is applied on a single operand. I hope this is clear. So we have two here. We have two unary operators. So maybe you can ask me, what are the two unary? So you can ask me, what two unary operators we have in Java? Not only in Java, these basics are common for any programming language like C, C++, Java, C#, so many languages. Now what is that? First one, plus plus. Second one, minus minus. Now you can ask me a question, what is plus plus, what is minus minus? First I will talk about plus plus. Plus plus is also called as incrementation. What do you call this as? Incrementation. Means it will increment the value of operand by 1. What it does? It increments the value of operand by 1. That's called incrementation. For example, you say int a equal to 10, then a plus plus. Then what this does here, when I apply plus plus on a, the value of a is incremented by 1. Means after this operation, the value of a becomes how much? 11. It will auto increment. Incrementation happens implicitly. You don't need to do anything here, dear friends. I hope this is clear for all of you. So generally, if you ask me, how do you syntactically represent this? The syntax looks like this. It's very simple. Operand whole bracket plus plus. But this parenthesis is optional. You don't need to put parenthesis all the time. It depends on the requirement. If something is an expression, put parenthesis. If something is variable, you don't need parenthesis. Suppose you see I didn't use any parenthesis here. Suppose my operand is an expression, something like this, a plus b. Then here put parenthesis whole plus plus. I hope you got idea now. When should we apply parenthesis? When it is not necessary. When there is an expression, then apply incrementation using parenthesis. When a variable is independent variable, when operand is in variable, no need of any parenthesis. I hope this is clear. Next one. Excuse me. I hope you got clarity on this, dear folks. So, I hope you understood what is plus plus now. Plus plus increments the value of operand by 1. That's it. So, and this is very useful while working with the looping or somewhere in program while you need incrementation. But you know, plus plus always increments by 1. Keep in mind. Now I am going to discuss about the different forms of if. Different forms of plus plus. Incrementation otherwise. Different forms of incrementation. Actually, we can represent incrementation in 4 forms. How many forms? 4 forms. First one, post incrementation. What incrementation? Post incrementation. Second one, pre incrementation. Third one, full form. And fourth one, shorthand. What is fourth form? Shorthand representation. In this way, dear friends, we have 4 different forms of incrementation. Post, pre, full and shorthand, or you can call expanded form. This one is expanded. What is post incrementation? It is something like this, which plus plus comes after operand. Then pre incrementation. Plus plus comes before operand. What is expanded form? Something like a equal to a plus 1. This is expanded. This is what expanded form is. A equal to a plus 1. What is shorthand? A plus equal to 1. This is called shorthand. But you know, friends, if you use this, or if you use this, or if you use this, internally, all these 3 are converted to a equal to a plus 1. Means if you expand internally, this becomes a plus plus becomes what is that? A equal to a plus internally. Excuse me. And here also a equal to a plus 1. It becomes a equal to a plus 1. And I don't need to explain this. This is already an expanded form. Even when you expand this, it becomes internally a equal to a plus 1. Then people keep asking me questions. Sir, what is the difference between post and pre-incrementation? Why do we need this? When both are incrementing operand by 1, why do we need 2 incrementations? Why not just 1? Let me explain the difference between post-incrementation and pre-incrementation. But before this, I hope this is clear. Incrementation increments operand by how much, dear friends? By 1. That's it. I hope this is clear to all of you. Any questions so far? So that's it. Folks, let's talk about difference between post-incrementation and pre-incrementation. So first thing, let me talk about post-incrementation. See, individually or independently, both will increment operand by 1, either post or pre. For example, I say a equal to 10. Okay, then a plus plus. Then the value of a is 11. So this plus plus always increments by 1. Similarly, suppose I say same thing. If I apply same thing for pre-incrementation, int a equal to 10 plus a, then the answer here is still 11. No difference. So we don't have any difference independently. But you find difference between post and pre when you are applying this in an operation. When do you find difference? When you are applying this in an operation or in a process. Let me explain this now. So here, let me take a small example to explain the difference between post and pre. Let's explain this. In post incrementation, in post incrementation, it applies a rule or a policy. First initialize and increment. What is the policy or rule it will follow? Initialize and increment. What do you mean by this? Let me explain this clearly with an example. But it follows, but you should remember this. First initialize and then increment. Post means it doesn't increment first. First, if any value is there in an operand, it is initialized in the operation first. Later on, it is incremented. I hope this is clear. So that's what post is. Post means after something. So let me explain this with a small example. Suppose I'll ask a quick question also here. Try to answer. A equal to 10, comma B. Then I say B equal to A plus plus. Can you see here? I am initializing post incrementation to B. After this, what is the value of A? What is the value of B? Plus, dear folks, please try to answer this first. Don't blindly listen to the video. Answer this first. Try to answer at least. If you fail, then you can anyhow, I'm going to explain that. But what's your answer here? What is A? What is B? Maybe A can be 10. A can be 10, B can be 11. That is one possible solution. A can be 11, B can be 10. That is another possible solution. Both A can be 11, B can be 11. A can be 10, B can be 10. Here, I am not saying all these four are answers here. Only one is the right answer. Remaining three are not correct. So you should pick the correct answer now. What's your answer? So is it, what's your answer now? So this is A, this is B. Now based on that answer, what's your answer? Is it first one or is it second one? See, don't get confused. The first one is A here. This is A. This is B. Don't get confused, my dear friends. Now you answer. What's your answer? So the answer is the second one. A is 11, B is 10. Why? Might be, I hear most of the time from students, they say that B is 11, A is 10. But it's not correct. It's, what is that? A is 11, B is 10. Why? I just explained. This post incrementation follows initialize and increment, of course. First, what happens? Let us analyze this. First, you have A here. Now here, when you come to the logic, the value of A is there here. When you initialize this, the value of A is first initialized to B. The value of A is initialized to B. The value of A is initialized to B. I hope you got this. After that, after initializing the value of A to B, then A gets incremented. After initializing the value of A to B, then A gets incremented. That is post incrementation. First initialize what you have with you and then increment. And then increment. Got it or not? No. So what's your answer now? Tell me. So A has 10. That is first initialized to B. Then after that A is incremented. It becomes 11. So what's your answer? 11 and 10. I hope this is clear. So that's post incrementation. Now I think you can answer pre-incrementation. Let me explain the policy of pre-incrementation or the principle applied here. Pre-incrementation. In this, dear friends, first incrementation happens and then initialization is done. Means here it follows increment and initialize. Initialize. Are you following, folks? So what happens here first? Let's take same example, analyze this. Definitely you understand the difference now. I'm using the same example, but I'm applying this for pre-incrementation. I hope this is clear. Here, instead of a plus plus, I am making it as plus plus here. So what's your answers here? Please stop there. Don't try to go through the video. First, try to answer it first, my dear friends. What's your answer? Again, you get the same. What is that? Again, the options are same, but one answer is correct answer. What is that? Can you answer this quickly, my dear friends? The answer is 11 and 11. Why 11 and 11? Because first the value of a is incremented. So what is a now? This follows a principle: increment and initialize. Increment means first the value of a is incremented. It is not initialized first. So what happens now? A becomes 11, and that updated value is initialized to b. Then b also becomes 11. So your answer is 11 comma 11. Is this clear to all of you, my dear folks? This is idea about what is that difference between post and pre. In post, it will initialize and increment. In pre, it will increment and then initialize. I hope this is clear to all of you, my dear friends. So this is the difference. Sometimes students keep asking me a question. The question is very simple. Sir, suppose if I want to increment by 2, what should I do? Suppose they say that int a equal to 10, then they don't want increment by 1, they want increment by 2. Then they ask me, sir, can I write like this, a plus 2, something like this? A to the power of something, a plus something, can I do like this? This is not correct. This is wrong. Don't do this. So if you want increment by 2, by 3, by 4, by 10, by 100, you cannot apply plus plus or minus minus. Unary is not possible. You have to go for expanded form, full form. Means if I want to increment this by 1, then I should say a equal to a plus 1. This is what I should do. What should I do? I should increment this by how much? 1. But here I cannot use unary operator. I should use, what is that? Full form or expanded form. Are you clear with this? What should I use here? Full form or expanded form. I hope this is clear to all of you, dear friends.